Welcome back. New tonight at 10, you can see what it's like to take part in the Florida Python Challenge. The 10th annual Python Challenge took place recently in the Florida Everglades. A total of 209 snakes were caught this year. That is down a little bit from previous years. Now, although that may sound like a good thing, it could actually be bad news for us here in Central Florida. Fox 35 evening anchor and our good friend John Brown. He actually waded through the swamps and made it back alive.
Great man,
to tell us about his experience. Great to see you.
Good to see you, ladies.
You know, John, first of all, welcome to Good Day, Orlando. I know it's a little early for you, right?
Yeah, right.
So, but we're glad you're here. But I know we want to get into a whole lot of things, but I want to know, did you catch anything when you were out there?
No, we did not.
You did not?
No,
okay.
but we wanted to. I mean, we were out there. We were out there all night long. We were out there a total of, I guess, 2 days, over the course of 2 days out there hunting with a Volusia County commissioner who went down there. And you can see right here, we decided to go out and just see what it was actually like on the ground. And this is one of the stories that we talk about tonight. That's the Miccosukee tribe right there. And they're actually training dogs now to find them because these snakes are in places that humans can't find. And so the idea is if we can find a new way to catch these, it's going to help eradicate these snakes because they are elusive. When you're standing out there in the middle of the Everglades at night and you can see forever and you think, according to the numbers they're saying, there could be anywhere between 10,000 and 100,000 of these things out there. Gosh. And here's some video of us in the middle of the night out there in the Everglades walking through.
And you were out there
that's
like that?
That's my camera light right there. And so you really can't see anything. And I mean, it was creepy. It was surreal. We didn't catch anything, and there we are. I mean, we were deep in it. And you'll see right here what we found. This is interesting because there's a skull right there.
Oh gosh.
And it's actually an alligator skull.
Ooh.
And as we've all seen the pictures, these pythons are now eating alligators because there's hardly anything left out there.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to talk more specifically about the Miccosukee tribe because this is something that was a first. They've never spoken to the media before?
Yeah, they're very reclusive. You've been down there before, Danielle. And so this is an area where I used to hang out when I was in my my mid-20s, walking around the area out there around their tribal lands, and it was completely different. And so they never had a reason to speak until now. To them, it's taboo to even discuss the snakes because in their culture, it's destroying the ecosystem. And according to their constitution, they have to protect the Everglades. So it's a big deal to them that they're not able to stop this. And so they spoke with us about how big of a deal it is. And this is devastating them because they've lived off the land since the Indian Wars. We're talking, 1800s at this point. And now there's nothing left. When I say there's nothing left, we're out there in the middle of the Everglades and we didn't see a deer. We didn't see squirrels. We didn't see raccoons. I'm telling you, everything is gone. There are no animals left other than the gators we saw and the snakes that we know are out there.
So what that tells me is that they're not really making as much headway as they need to be making in order to try to eradicate these pythons.
That's the scary thing. Okay, 209 caught this year. Previous years, I think there was like 230, 250. Previous years were lower, but there were fewer hunters. There were over 1,000 hunters this year. And that's the general belief is the reason why there weren't as many snakes caught this year is there aren't as many snakes there because they're now moving north. And here's the big problem, and this is what we look into tonight, because as they move north, because there's no food left, and everybody says, oh, well, they're going to freeze. And the Fish and Wildlife Director here for the Miccosukee, he tells us that's not true. They just go underground until it warms up again. So they can move on north, and as they move out of these areas, they get into areas where it's populated. And pythons don't know what they're striking at, right? They just know if it's something that's warm-blooded going in front of them, they strike, their teeth go backwards, they pull it in, and they constrict like it's doing right there. So it doesn't matter if it's a deer, if it's anything in that area, and now we're saying, well, it could be a person, it could be a child, because we now know they're up in the Lake Okeechobee area. And so the fact that we didn't see any down there, and any of the hunters we talked to, because we ran into dozens of hunters at night out there in the middle of the woods, nobody in our area caught anything. And of that 209, one guy caught 20. So you think about it, in that whole expansive area, there weren't that many caught for more than 1,000 hunters. And so maybe we're hunting in the wrong areas right now, because if they are going north, that gets really scary when you get into the areas where it's sugar fields. People could be working in the sugar fields. Kids could be out playing. The snakes don't care. They're just going to eat whatever comes by.
Or maybe they need to change strategy. Maybe something else needs to happen to try to eradicate this, because this clearly is not enough.
Yeah, and the dogs are one thing. And we also talked about, what about drones, to see them from up above. The problem is, they're and they're cold-blooded and you can't see them. So if they don't come up with some new technology, it's going to be scary about what happens here. And again, when you see what's done to the ecosystem down there, it's still beautiful, But when you realize there's nothing
nothing
left
left.
down there, I know, in an area like that, that's such a national treasure, it's a scary situation.
Well, looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Tonight at 10 and 11, so two separate reports.
Yeah, so tonight at 10 we take you on for the hunt to show you what it's really like being out there in the middle of nowhere, pitch black.
He says with a laugh.
I know, it's funny because I remember being out there, and I even pulled out my phone and I said, how to detect if there's a python nearby, and there's no clue.
Oh,
There's
boy.
completely quiet, and here I am. I'm looking up, and you can see forever. It's pitch black. I'm like, oh, they could be right here. And if your light's not on them, they could be there. And then at 11 o'clock, we talk to the Miccosukee tribe about how it's devastating their culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great to see you, friend.
Thank
Good
you
to
so
see you,
much,
ladies.
John.
Being here,
We
John.
appreciate you.
All right.